This is Bob Maloney from MyMMAnews.com, and I can officially call my guest champ now. Christian Bobe this past weekend won the featherweight amateur title at the Art of War Cage Fighting Championship on Saturday, April 2nd at the Live Casino Hotel. And I had the pleasure of being cage side to call it. And Christian, man, before we even get into the fight and talk about that, how you feeling? It's got to be good to have a great performance. Just tell me how you're feeling, what's going through your mind right now. Good feelings, I guess.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. It's been a while since I fought, so there was a lot of pressure, a lot of things going through my head. But I'm back on the winning track. I feel good. I'm healthy. I didn't get any injuries in there, so I want to get right back in there. But I'm feeling good, man. Happy to be the Art of War champ again.
Well, listen, let's talk about the fight against Dylan Harnish. And Dylan is the southpaw. He likes to strike. The first round, he seemed to be doing a little bit pretty good on striking. You both were. Were you shocked that, he shot in for the single leg? Because I thought that, for me, watching that fight, it was pretty even. But once he went in for the shot, it kind of like turned for you because you reversed him quickly. You had his back, and that basically was most of the fight. You basically out-grappled him. And were you shocked when he went in for that leg?
Yeah, I think he was feeling confident. He was letting his hands go, and I think, he maybe got a little overconfident and thought that he could take me down. But that, that's my bread and butter. That's where I'm best at. So, once I felt his, how he felt, and I started to get comfortable, then the tide changed, like you said, and yeah, that was definitely his down. That was a bad decision from him.
Well, you told me that leading up to this fight that you had worked with Patrick Sabatini a lot. So tell me something that, besides like on the mat, what's some of the stuff that he was drilling into you mentally and verbally telling you about the fight, other than, like I said, the training part? Because Pat's a smart dude, and he knows, the mental part of the game. Where did he help you with that? What was he trying to, drill into you?
Just to believe in myself, and like you said, he's real mental with all this stuff too, and he's one of my best friends on the team. We fish together, we train together, so we help each other learn. But mostly I would say the mind stuff. His mind is bulletproof. He knows how to stay composed in every situation, and he's at the top of the game right now. He's undefeated in the UFC, so I can just learn a lot just from sitting back and watching him.
Yeah, listen, his grappling is just fantastic, man. I love watching him fight.
His striking it's just as good as his grappling. The world hasn't got to see that yet, but he fights next weekend, so I think he's gonna really put the world on notice.
He's looking for another performance award. I mean,
yeah.
that ankle lock was or knee bar, I forget what it was, but it was just devastating.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, listen, 5-2 now. You're still a young dude, man. So, and you obviously have good leadership behind you with Pat and your team. Are you still comfortable? Do you have a plan as far as when you're looking to go pro? Are you going to just take one fight at a time, do amateur, and go from there? What goes through you, your family, your team? What's kind of the plan for Christopher Bobe?
Christian, but
Christian Bobe.
Hey, my dad's name's Christopher, so a lot of people get that confused. But I'm just gonna. I'm
friends with you on Facebook, so that's why I got confused there, Christian.
Okay, pretty close, Christopher. But I'm just taking it one fight at a time. My coaches, they kind of want me to turn pro now, but and I think I'm ready to turn pro, honestly. But I want to just keep racking these fights up, get as many different looks as I can. I fought strikers and I fought wrestlers. I fought awkward guys. So I just want to keep getting that experience, because at the end of the day, it's a fight. It's still them same nerves. It's still someone trying to knock your head off. It's just there's no head kicks and there's no elbows and knees, but it's still a fight at the end of the day. And if you look at a lot of the top guys, they had like super extensive amateur careers. Some go 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, and they'll turn pro right away. But I think it's smart to take it slow and just build the experience. So we'll see. I I'd like to get right back in there. If I could fight like next week or in 2 weeks, I would. I'm going to try and find something in May or June and just keep the ball rolling. And by the end of the year, I'll definitely be pro. Whether I fight 1, 2, 3, 4 more times this year, 2023, I'll be fighting professional.
Before this latest victory, you had a couple of really tough fights. I was talking with another one of your teammates about them with Andre Petrosky, and he was saying they were both tough matchups. What was, the difference for you between those two fights where you didn't come out on the winning side and your most recent performance?
Just strengthening my mind in the time off. That's been the biggest thing for me. My skills are there everywhere. I'm very well rounded. My striking, my grappling, my cardio, my power. I have it all. It's just putting the pieces together in my mind. And both my losses, I feel like that's what let me down. My first loss was kind of a controversial loss. I felt I won the fight, but I still didn't go out there and perform as good as I can. And the last loss I had, I was really putting it on the guy. I don't know if you saw the fight, but I just came out there. I started really slow, which was a mental thing for me. It seems like I kind of start slow in all my fights, so that's something I really want to work on, getting out there and going for the kill right away. But the last fight, man, I just started slow. That first round, he took me down and kind of held me down. And then going into the end of the second, I started putting on him real good. The third, I almost knocked him out. And that kid Cam he's the real deal. He's like 7-1 now. I think he's like the number 2 135 pounder in the region or the country or something like that. And I would love to run it back with him. Both my losses, Kelvin and Cam, I would love to run it back with them and get them back, because I know I'm better than both of them. And I could be 7-0, but them losses they really boosted a lot in my mind and showed me my downfalls. And I feel like I've grown a lot from them.
Well, listen, speaking of running it back, to this day, your fight against Chris Kwiatkowski is still one of the best fights I've ever seen at any level. I still remember that fight, you taking I don't know if your nose was broken, but I learned so much about you in that fight, Christian. I knew how much heart you had in that fight, because in the beginning he got the better of you and you had to fight back so much to get in that fight and then win that fight. That was still my props to you, because I knew what you were made of after that fight. And I think that you probably, learned something about yourself too, because I thought the fight was going to be over in the first round at one point, and you not only came back, but you took it from them, and that's, to this day, is still one of the best fights, amateur fights or pro fights that I've witnessed. It was great. So props to that. So you got like 3 guys. You got Kwiatkowski, the 2 guys that got the better of you. There's lots of fights to be made, man. I can't wait to see what's in the future for you. Once again, I'm with Christian Bobe out of Daniel Gracie Philly and Marquez MMA, and this guy is so fun to watch. He's got a giant heart. And listen, another props to you is Andre says they got to kick you out of the gym, that you're at the gym so much that you're guilty of overtraining sometimes. Look, you're following your dreams and you're working hard. Tell me a little bit about that, because you obviously love to be there.
Yeah. So, I've just made this a lifestyle. It's not, most amateurs are, they're working a full-time, even pros, they're working a full-time job and then they're training at nighttime, or they're getting one session in a day. I've realized that you got to go all in or don't do it at all, and that's kind of how I made my life. I work at the gym. I don't like have another part-time job. I teach classes during the day, and I just spend my time at the gym. It's the way I like to live my life. I enjoy waking up Monday morning. Most people hate waking up Monday morning. I kind of hate the weekends because I'm sitting at the house. I'm not training. I'm bored. I like to spend my time in the gym with my teammates and my coaches, learning and just soaking it all in. I'm only going to be 23 one time in this life, so I might as well, give everything I got and really, really give this career everything I have.
Well, listen, I'm excited for your future. I'm excited to keep telling chapter after chapter, because you're going to have a nice career and exciting. And listen, Philly MMA, as you know, as much as anybody, is just kicking ass right now. Your gym they're racking up win after win in the UFC. The Dawkins brothers, you know, Bill Algeo with Philly MMA is really putting their name on the and listen, there's no reason you can't be right in there behind them. Give some shout outs or some love before we go, Christian. It's such a joy to have you on.
Yeah, man. Thank you to Art of War for having me back. You know, thank you to you, Mike, Jillian. I love fighting for them. You know, I love that South Philly, that fighting vibe. You know, thank you to my coaches, Daniel, John, Jonovan, all the teammates that come in there and you know, help me mentally and physically. And that's all, man. Hopefully I get back in there real soon. You guys will be seeing some more of me.
Well, listen, when you have a fight announcement, make sure you hit me up. We'll come back on and talk about it. Christian Bobe, remember the name. The champ is in the house.
Oh, let's go, man. It was good to talk to you, brother.
It was my pleasure.